Hi guys, I'm going to show you this week how to create the nails that I did recently on Nikki Makeup. So when you're creating these textured nail art looks, you're going to need to have completed your base. So I've got my base down, and this has also got a shiny top coat on so that I don't need to apply a top coat over the top. All of the art gels that I use have got built-in top coats, so I want to leave that texture so that you can see the brush strokes. Here's all the things that you will need. So I used the T-Gel Collection AF brush, which looks like this. You can get this from Cookie. You will also need a striping brush. My go-to striping brush is the Magpie Striper. It looks like this. Very well used. You're also going to need a dotting tool. I absolutely swear by this. It's actually the looping tool from Personality. Where's the logo? It's upside down. But it's really good for getting like really precise dots because it's got a super fine end. You're also going to need some art gels. I've decanted mine into, it's a bit of a mess, so I apologise. I've decanted mine into these trays. So we're going to need white. I use the Crystal Nails For You white, which is there in the corner. So yeah, you're going to need a really nice thick sturdy white art gel, and you're going to need a black as well, which I also used from, not black, sorry, a green, which is here. This is the Army Green from Magpie. I'm trying to think what else you'll need. Oh, like a mustard colour, and I'm going to be using this one from Cookie, which is Gina's Gina gel. And that's what we're going to use for the centres of the flowers. And I think that's everything that you're going to need. So I have taken some of the art gel and I'm going to put it onto one of these disposable palettes. I'm then going to work my T-Gel Collection brush through the product so that I've got a generous helping onto the brush. So on the design, we're going to create a big nice daisy over here. So the first thing you want to do is make connection with the brush. You want to press down as you're pulling away and then lift up as you pull off. And then I'm going to repeat that. So we're going to press down and pull away. That's how you get those gorgeous petal shapes. Okay, so we've got our first layer of petals down. We need to set that before we go in again, but before we pop it into the light to save time, we can actually do the flower on this side. So it's a smaller flower on this side. So we're just going to repeat that step. We're going to push down and then lift away. Push down, lift away. And the same. Okay, so we're going to pop that into set now. We're going to start to layer those petals now. So you want not quite as much product on the brush, and then we're going to go in between those petals that we've already put down and making them a little bit shorter so that they're sitting on top, and doing this absolutely the same thing. So pushing down as you connect with the nail, and then pulling off with your pressure as you drag it backwards. Okay, and the same with this side. The reason you don't want as much product on the brush the second time around is so that you've got that difference between the thickness of product. It just helps define a little bit more. Now I've got a little bit less space than Nikki to play with. Her nails are a lot longer than mine, so we're going to have to jig the placement around a little bit, but that's okay. It's good to learn how to adapt to different size nails and different shape nails. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some little buds. Now they're super easy and you can really overthink this, but again, you just want a thick amount on your brush. Actually just going to do 2 little dots with the brush. So just make contact like that. And contact like that. You get like a little heart shape. Let's put a little baby one at the bottom as well. Next you want to take your liner brush and dip it into some of that dark green. You want it to be nice and fine on the brush. We're then going to create little stems for these little buds. So starting there, you want to create a little stem that goes down, and then for this one I think we'll have it go in like this direction. So now to make it look a little bit more realistic, we're going to fan the bottom out, so you want to make it wider on the bottom, almost adding like these little tiny lines so it looks like a stalk, like, you know, at the bottom of the stem. We now need to add some leaves, so I have got a little bit more product on the striping brush so that I can spread it out a little bit. So I'm going to go in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my brush down, then I'm going to slide it around a little bit, and then as I pull away I'm going to pull the pressure up. So I'll show you that again. So you've got a bit more product on your striping brush than as if you were going to do a line. You're going to make contact with the nail. You're going to wiggle it around a little bit, and then as you pull away, oh, as you pull away, pull off. Now you can add as many of these leaves as you like, and again it depends on whether your client's got a square nail, a round nail, long, short, how much you've got to play with. But don't forget to put some coming off the end of the nail too. When you're happy with all of your placement of your leaves, you'll want to set that thoroughly. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to take our beautiful mustard colour here, and we're going to add this to the centre of the flowers. This is really going to finish off the flowers. You see all that texture from them beautiful art gels. One of the most asked questions that I get on my reels is, what's that product? How do you get the texture in the flowers? How do you achieve that? And it's all in the products. All of my nail art really I do using art gels, because it just gives you just a completely different look, and you just have so much more control than using normal gel polishes. And that's how you create the nail art that I did on Nikki recently.